and welcome to the channel. My name is Amanda and this is Bambi Reads Books. It's a book blog channel where we talk about most things books and sometimes just like artsy things, just random things. So if this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I appreciate spending time with all of you. Today I wanted to give you my review for Legends Lattes. This was the book that I finished reading while we were sprinting last week on lives. So on lives, I go on there and we read for like 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending, at a time. And then we stop and then we'll discuss what we're reading. And that's what reading sprints are. So I'll go live a couple times a week and we usually get some reading time in together. So this was the book for last week, Legends Lattes by Travis Baldree. I did give this one 5 stars. It is a cozy fantasy. Think of like how I would describe it is if like you had an RPG character or you're playing like a tabletop role play game like Dungeons and Dragons, right? And if your character had to retire, like they're old now, the adventure's over, but they still have some life to live, so like they want to start a business, right? That's what they're gonna. This is Viv the Orc story about her retirement, and she moves to the city of Thune. And she buys a livery. She hires a hob named Cal. She hires Tandri, who is a succubus. And then she hires Thimble, who is a ratkin. And together they make delicious pastries. Cal, the hob, is able to build her things. Tandri is able to be a barista. And everybody pretty much lives happily. There is a little bit of conflict that comes in, but nothing that she can't take care of, you know. And then some old people from her past come in because you don't get to leave a life of conflict and just be absolutely happy right away, right? So this is Viv the Orc's retirement story and bringing lattes to the town of Thune. And I thought that was very, very cute. And then at the end, there is a little bit of a bonus story in the book, and it pretty much tells you like a little snippet about Viv the first time that she found a gnomish coffee shop and how it made her feel and like what it inspired her to do. So that is the short story. The next book that I'll be reading is going to be the second one, which is Bookshops and Bonedust, also by Travis Baldree. And this one is, I believe, Viv's story before. So I think we get dropped into an adventure with this one, and it's leading up to when she finds the gnomish coffee and what leads her to do this. So I think this is the preamble to this book, but it comes after. So here's the synopsis, so you can make your own decision on whether you think that will be the case for this book or not, because I haven't read it. I'm just guessing. So Viv's career with the notorious mercenaries company Kim's Ravens isn't going as planned. Wounded during the hunt for a powerful necromancer, she packed off against her will to recuperate in a sleepy beach town of Merc. So far from the action that she's worried she'll never be able to return to it. What's a thwarted soldier of fortune to do? Spend her hours at a Belarus bookshop in the company of its foul-mouthed proprietor is the last thing Viv would have predicted. But it may be both exactly what she needs and the seed of change she couldn't possibly imagine. Still, adventuring isn't all that far away. A suspicious traveler in gray, a gnome with a chip on her shoulder, a summer fling, and an improbable number of skeletons prove Merc to be more eventful than Viv could ever expect. So that's why I do believe it is kind of the story of when Viv discovers coffee in the little gnomish village or town, the beach town. I think this is when she just does like her research for the fortune ring and like the stone that she ends up finding and the way lines. I think this is where she gets all that information and the prep work happens. I'm pretty certain, but I'll be reading that one on live this week. Also, I'll be giving you guys a bonus video this week for the book club to get it started. So I have started a book club since February, but since February, I haven't really got anybody to engage. A lot of people have joined the Discord. A lot of people have said, I want to join the group. I have even had people vote on a book, but so far it's just been me reading and discussing it with people in a void, which is fine. I can do that. But feel free to jump in. Feel free to read with me. You can talk about the book with me if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to the Discord chat below. So if anybody would like to start this book club with me, I'm ready. So, and if you just want to hang out and just see what I think about the book, that's okay too. So I made a mistake in the original filming. I said that The Lovers was the first book and the one that we're going to be reading for March. Sitting down and starting to read, I realized actually the Empress is the first one. I made a mistake. So here is the Empress, the synopsis, and this is the book we'll be reading for March. So chapters 1 through 5 of the Empress will be for March's book club. Here is the synopsis. The arcanes aren't just figures in a tarot deck, they're real, terrifyingly real. That's what I learned when I found a tarot card in the snow and was yanked from the world into Towerfell. The first thing the people of this harsh, cruel realm did was try to kill me, and they probably would have succeeded if Cain hadn't taken me into his hideout in the woods and nursed me back to health. I don't know if I can trust him. He's too hot to be good news. He's definitely hiding secrets, and I've already seen him kill 2 people to protect me. If I hadn't just been helplessly dumped in the woods, the blood on his sword and the dark, brooding mood would have me running in the opposite direction. But right now, convincing the Kingdom of the Pentacles that Cain and I are married is the best chance of getting into the palace and back into my own world. Because there's something wrong with Towerfell, something deeply, deadly wrong, and if anyone finds out Cain and I aren't really husband and wife, well, then both of us are dead. That is a synopsis for The Empress by Kristen Cass, and that is actually our book club for March pick, and that's book 1 in the series. The Lovers by Kristen Cass. This is a series, so what I have been doing previously before this month is putting up books for everybody to vote on. This month I just went ahead and picked the book myself, so this is the book that I picked. If we end up liking this one, I will put a vote up next month for April, and it will either be The Empress, which is book 2, or I'll have a couple other books that you can choose as well. So if we don't end up liking the series and don't want to continue as a group, we don't have to. We can vote for a different book. So there is a Discord, and then on Fridays, I'm going to try and put some reading sprints on there where I record or go live as I read the set amount of chapters that we said for that week. So I'm thinking for the first week, we should try chapters 1 through 5. That's 1 chapter a day. It's anywhere from 10 to 15 pages a day, and kind of just see how the group speed goes. Like, is that too much for everybody? Are people reading ahead? Can we bump that up to maybe like 2 chapters a day? Is it more like a chapter and a half every other day? So whatever our speed is what we'll do. So for week 1, we're going to do chapters 1 through 5, and I'm going to go ahead and read you the synopsis, and you can decide if you'd like to join us. The links are below. It's free, nothing included besides just your participation. So here is the synopsis for The Lovers. 1 enchanted tarot card, 2 infuriating hot men, and a modern woman who refuses to be anyone's damsel. Gemma Summers is broke, burnt out, and about 3 weeks from moving back in with her parents. Her career has imploded, her confidence is circling the drain, and the last thing she needs is a run-in with her Alec Hawk, the dangerous, charming ex who still haunts her dreams and could buy her new life with just his pocket change. When a magical tarot card sends them spiraling literally into another realm, they land in the steampunk-inspired Kingdom of Cups. Gemma is forced to rely on a man who scattered her trust, broke her heart, and somehow still makes her weak in the knees. But survival in the world of Towerfall is anything but simple, especially when she's caught between the ex who wants to own her and a roguish former king who sees through every one of her defenses. With secrets mounting, identities unraveling, and her heart very much on the line, Gemma must decide, will she cling to the version of herself she built in the real world, or risk everything to become the woman that she's always meant to be? And that is going to be The Lovers by Kristen Cass, and that is the book club for March. After that, I just have a little life update, like something fun. My husband and I, we went to this little interactive art museum called Hopscotch, and it's in Portland, Oregon. So it's about a half hour away. It was about a half hour drive from us. And I picked up a couple things, and I thought they were kind of bookish related, a little bit nerd related. So I thought I would share them. So I am missing a Kindle sticker. I don't remember which one it was. It's been so long now, but I wanted to replace it because they do wear off. Like, they last a long time, but eventually they do come off. So I picked up this garden bath lady. This is a lady in a garden bath, because we all know I love my garden baths in the summer. So I thought hopefully she'll fit on the Kindle and she'll take up that space. So I saw that there, and I was like, that's very Edgefield, very McMinimans, very like, you know, stained glass kind of thing. I like that. I like the style. I thought it was cute. So I did pick up that sticker. And then I got these pins for the Run Fair this summer, right? So here is the little raccoon, and he has chainmail and a little sword. He's so cute. And that's like a pin for like shawls or whatever you decide to do capes. And then here is the wizard lizard. He might be a newt, but I thought he was cute. They had a couple others, but I was like, okay, I don't really need more than 2 because I can only wear 2 at a time anyway. So calm down. And then I got something for both of us, for our hangouts this week. So this is a candle. Yes. And I got something for both of us, for our hangouts this week. So this is a candle. Yes, it's for both of us. So for our reading sprints, what happens when we burn it is it has like a little metal skeleton inside. So as it burns, it shows like a metal skeleton. I thought that'd be kind of fun. And I thought maybe I could put like a shelf up here and we could collect them, you know, and be like, this is how many sprint candles we did this year. And maybe we'll just do one a month. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't even know how long it will last. Will we finish it in 2 days? Will we be going by the end of the month and she's still burning? Like, I don't know how many hours it lasts. But they had like a unicorn. They had like a fox. There was this one. They had different colored ones too. So it could be kind of fun to have like our little like reading sprint trophies, right? Like we read it. So I thought that would be kind of fun. If you don't think that's that cool, let me know. But if you think it's cool, I was pretty excited about it, honestly. Ridiculous. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, and I'm still looking for recommendations for a book set in Las Vegas. It doesn't even have to be set in Las Vegas at this point. Like, I just want a book. So I'm actually I'm 31 days away, right, from leaving. So I would like to have some recommendations. I've already read The Great Gatsby. I know that The Great Gatsby. I know that's not like a Vegas book, but it's like the vibe. Like, I want something like fancy, but seedy at the same time. Like Greek romance would fit. The Godfather, but I've already read The Godfather. I've already read Great Gatsby. I don't know, is there anything else along those lines? Like mobby or like Greek romance, kind of like, I don't know what I'm asking for, really. I just know that I want the thing, the shiny thing with the seedy undertow, but I don't know how to ask for what I want. So if you know what I'm looking for, let me know. I would love to know. Besides that, I think that's it for now. I am thinking I am going to add some books to the TBR here, because remember the whole point of doing the TBR tiles. I've grouped all of my books into like amounts, like all the Travis Baldrees are together, cozy fantasy, and then I put like all the quirky sci-fis together. I put all the dystopian romances together on tiles, and I'm picking a couple tiles every month, and then I'm reading from those books. So that way, if I get tired of reading the cozy fantasy and I want a romance, I can go to my romance tile and read something from there. And then each group of the tiles are getting rated. So like this book gets a 5, this one gets a 5, this one gets a 4. So I want to find the best book out of each tile. And then once I get through 12 tiles, I'll find my favorite book out of all of the tiles that I've read. And I don't know if I'm going to do 12 tiles or how many tiles I read for the year, the best book of the year. Something along those lines. So we're figuring out as we go, but adding these 2 books because there's something I've been wanting to read for a while, and I have been kind of in the mood for something more like outdoorsy. Like, I've been going for a lot of outdoorsy walks and hikes, and like, I know elephants aren't in the woods here, but I would like to read about them. So I have these 2 books about elephants, When Elephants Weep and The Emotional Lives of Animals, and then this one is Modoc, The True Story of the Greatest Elephant That Ever Lived. And these are on the same tile, so I do think I'm going to be adding these to my options. So that leaves me for my option that I'm left with since finishing Legends and Lattes. Left on the tile is Bookshops and Bonedust. I've read the synopsis for you since that's my next one. The one that is following the same tile, I don't know if it's going to be a next read, but it is on the list, is Brigands and Bread Knives. I keep saying that wrong. Brigands and Bread Knives. And here's the synopsis for that one. Fern has weathered the stillness and storms of the bookseller's life for decades, and now in the face of the crippling Inu, transplants herself to the city of Thun to hang out her shingles beside a long-absent friend's coffee shop. What could be a better pairing? Surely a charming renovation montage will cure what ails her. If only things were simple. It turns out that fixing your life isn't one-time prospect, nor as easy as changing the scenery or a lick of paint. The drunken and desperate knight sees the Ratkins waking far from home in the company of a legendary warrior, an outlaw goblin with fondness of silverware, and an absolute thumping hangover. All together, they fend off a rogue galley of ne'er-do-wellers trying to claim the bounty on the goblin's head. Fern might find the courage to step off the beaten path in order to find her true self. So it sounds like it's one of Viv's friends that is also trying to retire, and she retires in Thun near Viv. And then they have an adventure. So that will be exciting to read that one. The next one is Sliders, and this one is something about a boy who has spent money that doesn't belong to him, and now he has to enter an eating contest in order to pay back the money. And I don't know if the person that he spent their money, if they know that or not. So that's that one. Breakout is one where there's a town, and I think that there's a correction facility or a prison nearby, and there is a prisoner that broke out. And it's kind of like how the town reacts, like how they're feeling, how it affects their day-to-day life. It's supposed to be kind of like an insight to what that would be like. And then we have Hipster Death Rattle, and I'm not sure what this one is about, but it's supposed to be funny. So we're going to just go with it and see how it is. Living near Portland, I do know what a hipster is. I have met hipsters. I have been accused of being a hipster, and I don't really have any feelings about that at all. So we'll see what if the book instills any opinions or feelings. So right now I don't have any. So the next one is When Elephants Weep, The Emotional Lives of Animals, and this is one that I'm adding. So here is the synopsis for this one. No one who has lived with animals could deny their capability to feel, but science continues to do just that. The groundbreaking book, the first science since Darwin's time to explore emotions in animal kingdom, proves what lay people have believed, that animals love and suffer. They are lonely, jealous, disappointed, or curious. They mourn their worries, they hate, they anticipate happiness they feel. Meet buffaloes who ice skate for the joy of it. Flint, a chimpanzee who mourned the loss of his mother until he died from grief. Coco, a bashful gorilla proficient in sign language who loves to play house with dolls but only when no one's looking. Crows who damage the gold onion domes of the Kremlin by using it for a slide. Alex, an African gray parrot with an astonishing vocabulary, who when left in the veterinary office shrieked, "Come here, I love you, I'm sorry, I want you back." Based on scientific studies, the anecdote-filled field notes the score of biologists, euthologists, animal trainers, and animal behaviorists. This extraordinary book, at one heart-trending, impeccable research, and compulsively readable, shows just how deeply animals in the wild or in captivity experience emotions, including elephants who weep with tears that wrench our hearts. And then the next new one is going to be Modoc. Spanning severed decades and 3 continents, Modoc is one of the most true animal stories ever told. Raised together in a small German circus town, a boy and an elephant formed a bond that would last their entire lives and would be tested the time again. Through a near-fatal shipwreck in the Indian Ocean, an apprenticeship with the legendary Mahat elephant trainers in the Indian teak forest, and their eventual rise to circus stardom in 1940 New York City, Modoc is a captivating true story of loyalty, friendship, and high adventure to be treasured by animal lovers everywhere. And I have not, but I heard it makes you cry. So I don't know if I'm probably going to cry. We'll see. So those are the 2 that I'm adding to my assortment. And then, of course, we have the book club book that we'll be readdressing on Friday. And if I'm not sure, like if I end up recording, I will update the Discord before Friday. If I end up reading just with you guys on live on Friday, then I will update the Discord then. So I don't know when I'll be putting my thoughts in, but just so you know, I will be reading to chapter 5, by the end of the week, by Friday. So if you don't want to see any spoilers or my thoughts, don't look at it until you read it. So chapter 1 through 5 by Friday, and there will be either a live or a pre-recorded video that you can sprint and read, and then I'll discuss it with you at the end. And then of course the Discord is open, so that's below. So that's that. Okay, guys, and don't forget Vegas recommendations are bougie with seedy undertones. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So I'd love to hear your recommendations. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you for visiting with me. And I hope the week is good to you. I'll see you on Friday.